As we gather here today, I want to invite you on a journey not just through events, but through the very essence of human resilience. We often hear stories of triumph of battles won, but what about the silent wars fought within against forces that seem insurmountable? Now we delve into one such profound narrative. It's a story that asks us to look beyond the headlines to question the very foundations of what we believe about justice and truth. This isn't just about a man, a crime, or a court case. It's about the relentless pursuit of light in the darkest of shadows. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged, your emotions stirred, and your understanding of the human spirit deepened. Because sometimes the quietest battles leave the loudest echoes. It was a morning just like any other. Sunlight spilled into the sleepy streets of Pinewood, Mississippi, painting familiar scenes. A town like so many others across the American South, where life moved at its own gentle rhythm. But on that particular July day in 1996, that rhythm was violently disrupted. 4 lives were tragically ended at Tardy Furniture, a place that for many was a symbol of comfort and community. The shockwaves that tore through Pinewood were immediate and profound. Fear, a cold, hard knot in the stomach, gripped every resident. And in the vacuum of such terror, there's often a desperate, almost primal need for answers, for someone to blame. In my view, it was this very desperation that set the stage for a profound injustice. The pressure on law enforcement, immense and understandable, often leads to a dangerous shortcut, a swift arrest, even if the evidence isn't fully there. Arthur Dixon was being led away, hands cuffed. His expression was one of stunned confusion. His mother, Eleanor Vance, rushed forward, her face a mask of disbelief. "Arthur, no! What are you doing?" she cried out, her voice raw with a pain that promised to last a lifetime. "He wouldn't hurt a fly. You've got the wrong man." Her hands reach out trembling as if to pull him back from an abyss only she could see. From my perspective, this initial rush to judgment fueled by community fear is a recurring flaw in our justice system, a direct challenge to the principle of innocent until proven guilty. It's a stark reminder of how quickly the pursuit of a suspect can overshadow the exhaustive search for the truth. For Arthur Dixon, a man whose life was about to be irrevocably altered, that shadow had just begun its long, suffocating descent. And as we'll soon see, the deeper layers of this injustice were only just beginning to unfold within the very halls of power. Imagine staring across a courtroom not once, not twice, but 6 separate times, knowing your freedom, your very life hangs by a thread. This was Arthur Dixon's reality. His primary adversary was District Attorney Maxwell Sterling, a prosecutor renowned for his high conviction rates. It's my firm belief that Sterling's relentless pursuit of Arthur wasn't solely about justice. It became an unwavering, almost personal crusade to secure a conviction regardless of the glaring weaknesses in his case. One of the most disturbing aspects, in my opinion, was Sterling's consistent practice of systematically excluding black potential jurors. This wasn't merely a coincidence. It demonstrated a chilling strategy to shape the jury to his will, fundamentally undermining the very notion of a fair and impartial trial. This blatant disregard for the Batson versus Kentucky precedent designed to prevent racial discrimination in jury selection is a tactic that, when unchecked, makes a mockery of justice. The prosecution's case against Arthur was built largely on a foundation of shifting sand witness testimonies. Many of these individuals, vulnerable and often facing their own legal pressures, later recanted their statements admitting to coercion. This, to me, highlights a critical, often tragic flaw in relying solely on eyewitness accounts, especially when individuals might be incentivized or pressured, and underscores the fragility of such evidence. Where was the concrete evidence, the murder weapon, fingerprints, DNA? They simply weren't there. Yet the trials continued, a grueling cycle of hope ignited and then brutally extinguished for Arthur and his steadfast family. Each overturned conviction, each legal victory, was a fleeting moment of relief, only for Arthur to be dragged back again and again into the same legal boxing ring. The sheer mental and emotional toll of living under the shadow of a death sentence for 2 decades is something most of us can barely comprehend. It speaks volumes about Arthur's extraordinary inner strength and, frankly, the unyielding, almost cruel persistence of a system seemingly determined to secure a victory even when the truth remained elusive. And while the courtroom doors continued to swing shut on Arthur's hopes, whispers of doubt were slowly beginning to gather momentum far beyond Pinewood. For far too long, the story of Arthur Dixon was confined to the courtrooms of Mississippi, a dark saga unfolding largely unseen by the wider world. But as history often shows us, injustice rarely remains buried forever. It's a testament to the power of persistent inquiry that the cracks in this seemingly impenetrable facade eventually began to appear. Enter Chloe Davis, an investigative journalist whose relentless dedication is, in my opinion, nothing short of heroic. She didn't just report on the trials, she dug deep, revisiting every piece of evidence, every witness statement. Her work, meticulous and exhaustive, was the antithesis of the initial rushed investigation. She faced closed doors and unspoken resistance, but her commitment to uncovering the truth was unwavering. Chloe's investigation brought to light the shocking reality of how initial witness testimonies were obtained, often under duress with promises of leniency or implied threats. For me, this exposed a deeply troubling aspect of the system, how easily vulnerable individuals can be manipulated, and how those manipulations can lead to catastrophic consequences for the accused, highlighting the critical need for scrutiny of all witness accounts. And then the true turning point, a vital piece of evidence, perhaps a long-overlooked document or a key interview, was unearthed, revealing the chillingly deliberate strategy by D.A. Sterling to exclude black jurors, a smoking gun that would tear a gaping hole in the prosecution's entire case. This unmasked the systematic prosecutorial misconduct that had plagued Arthur's trials for years. Simultaneously, a dedicated team of pro bono lawyers and legal organizations, champions of the wrongfully convicted, threw their considerable weight behind Arthur. Their expertise in navigating the complex legal landscape was crucial. This collaborative effort, where tenacious journalism met tireless legal advocacy, underscores a powerful lesson. Sometimes it takes external forces, independent voices, to shine a light into the darkest corners of a system that has gone astray. The whispers of doubt were finally becoming a unified, undeniable roar for justice, and that roar was about to reach the highest court in the land. The legal battle culminated in a landmark decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which decisively overturned Arthur Dixon's sixth conviction. This wasn't just a victory for Arthur, it was a powerful statement about the fundamental flaws of jury selection and systemic racial bias in our courts. It stands, in my opinion, as a crucial moment in the ongoing fight for civil rights and fair legal process in America, serving as a powerful reaffirmation of Batson v. Kentucky. The weight then fell to the new district attorney, Ben Carter. Inheriting a case steeped in controversy and decades of contentious history, Carter faced a daunting decision. His courage, in my view, to reevaluate the evidence with an objective ethical lens and ultimately to acknowledge the profound errors of the past is a beacon of hope for what the justice system can be, emphasizing the vital importance of prosecutorial accountability. He chose truth over maintaining a flawed legacy, dismissing all charges against Arthur Dixon. Imagine that moment. After 23 agonizing years, including years on death row, the chains of injustice finally fell away. The image of Arthur Dixon stepping out of that prison, blinking in the sunlight, is for me one of the most profoundly moving images imaginable. His embrace with his mother, Eleanor Vance, was more than a reunion. It was the culmination of unwavering faith, a testament to a mother's boundless love that refused to surrender to despair. You could almost feel the collective breath of relief from all who had championed his cause. But freedom, as Arthur soon discovered, isn't simply the absence of prison walls. It's learning a new world, a dizzying landscape of technology-changed customs and missed milestones. The bittersweet irony of gaining freedom only to find a world you barely recognize is a poignant reminder of the true cost of wrongful imprisonment, a stark illustration that justice delayed is justice denied. Yet what struck me most deeply was Arthur's quiet resolve. He harbored no visible bitterness. Instead, he embraced the simple joys he'd dreamed of, like the sheer liberation of driving a car again, feeling the wind on his face without restriction. His journey speaks volumes about the incredible resilience of the human spirit to find peace, even after enduring unimaginable hardship. And as Arthur began to rebuild his life, his story started to inspire a movement far larger than himself. Arthur Dixon's story, thankfully, does not end with his liberation. It embarks on a powerful new chapter, one that, in my opinion, offers a profound blueprint for resilience and advocacy. He has built a new life for himself, finding love and building a family, while no sum of money can truly reclaim 23 stolen years. The financial settlement he received from the state of Mississippi serves as a formal acknowledgement of the profound injustice he endured, a crucial, though insufficient, step toward accountability. What truly inspires me about Arthur is his transformation from victim to powerful voice. He doesn't just live his freedom, he uses it. He has become an impassioned advocate, consistently sharing his journey not for personal gain, but to illuminate the deep-seated racial inequities that frankly still plague our criminal justice system. His message is simple yet profound. My story is not unique. There are countless others like me trapped in the shadows of injustice, and their voices must be heard too. His federal lawsuit against DA Maxwell Sterling and the investigators responsible for his wrongful imprisonment sends a resounding message: accountability must extend to those who abuse their power. This pursuit to me is not about revenge, but about ensuring that such systemic failures are exposed and hopefully prevented from happening again, pushing for the critical reform our legal system desperately needs. Arthur's quiet strength, his unwavering spirit despite unimaginable hardship, is a testament to the indomitable power of hope. His story is a vital reminder for all of us, especially those who feel marginalized or defeated, that even from the deepest despair, a new purpose can emerge. It's a powerful narrative of human resilience, a compelling argument for continuous vigilance against prejudice, and a call to believe in the possibility of redemption, not just for individuals, but for entire systems. And for me, that's the most enduring lesson of the Magnolia Shadow. It reminds us that while the shadows of the past can be long and painful, the light of truth, fueled by persistence, courage, and collective advocacy, will always find a way to break through. As Eleanor Vance Arthur's unwavering mother always told him, and as he now lives every day in my heart, this message resonates deepest. Keep your head up and don't give up. Because sometimes that quiet, persistent hope is all it takes for the dawn to finally break. Arthur Dixon's fight shouldn't be in vain. If his story ignited a spark in you, if it stirred your sense of justice, then you're ready to be part of the change. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join our community dedicated to unraveling these vital stories and shedding light on uncomfortable truths. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive. And in the comments below, share your thoughts. What part of Arthur's incredible journey resonated most deeply with you? And what lessons do you believe we as a society must learn from stories like his? Your voice, your perspective matters. Let's keep this crucial conversation going.